the last time I tried, I couldn't get it to work and I gave up. It's really, yeah, I couldn't do it. I managed it once.
Oh no. Oh, I think we're live. Are we live?
Yeah, I can see us.
Yay!
That was a
So,
lot simpler than I was expecting it to be.
but the thing is, right, this end, we'll just have a chit chat while we wait for some people to join.
Simpler.
This end, thing is, right? Oh, I can hear myself.
Yeah.
But this end, it tells me that it's not worked. So I have
Oh,
to look for it on my phone. Yeah.
well, that's silly, isn't it?
I know, I
Okay.
know. Right, I'm
I've got
just
it on
gonna
my phone as well so that we can see. I think we've got a few. Yeah, we've got a few people.
awesome. I'm just gonna share into some groups and then we will be going. Hello, everybody. Share. I wish that they'd stop changing things. Ah, so I'll share it to there. I'll share it to. Thanks for bearing with me. Next, share now. And where else we got? Is there any way you want to share to, Jess?
Um, I could share it to Grove page
Oh yeah,
if you're happy for me to do that.
yeah.
Cool. Okay, we've done that.
Share to there, share to there. Mountain. Perfect. Posted. Right. There's no way of avoiding that really tricky 5 minutes while you wait to see if it's worked and if you're actually going live and then doing the sharing. But yeah, hi everyone. Thanks for joining us on our monthly. This is where I forget how to speak.
That's all good.
But yeah, for our monthly live today, we've got Jess from Grove Mentoring. Is it Grove Mentoring and Education?
I think officially that's the name, but we just sort of say Grove these days. Yeah, so just
Yeah,
Grove is good.
just Grove. Yeah. So yeah, Jess is going to come and talk to us about some research that she did about autistic young people's experience of joy for her master's dissertation, because she's done a master's degree in autism at Sheffield Hallam, which we've both done. So we've got that in common. But yeah, Jess, do you want to introduce yourself? Who are you? Where are you from? What do you do?
Yeah,
Tell us
no
some
worries.
things.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm really bad at this. So yeah, I am Jess. My pronouns are she, her. I am late realized autistic ADHD person and found that out through the very common channel of my kids being identified as autistic. So I've parent two neurodivergent kiddies, one who is 10 and is a PDA and has had a really tough, horrible time with schools. So we've kind of crashed and burned out of the education system. And at that point, I used to be a teacher, which was an interesting combination of a child who was traumatized by school and me working in a school. But I then had to stop doing that because he couldn't leave the house and we needed to do life in a different way. Sorry, my mic pops up every now and again. It looks a bit weird. So so that kind of led us, I guess, to looking at trying to do life in a different kind of way, needing to find a different way of working from home. And in amongst that mix, he was asking me, where are all the other autistic kids, Mummy? I want to meet them. And he was asking, what does autism mean and that kind of thing. And I just didn't really I couldn't really find spaces that felt safe and affirming to enable him to do that. So just kind of started to think about what I could do to contribute to that. And 3 years later, we've got Grove. And at the same time as doing that, thought it was a great idea to do a master's all at the same time. So here we
Your
are.
story is really similar to mine, really similar to mine. Yeah, so my little son actually started mainstream school, aged 5, started having trouble, obviously did the unrealized autistic thing of hyper focusing like for hours and hours straight on research and this and that and the other, and they went, huh, hang on a
Yeah.
minute, I did all that.
Yeah.
But then the
Yeah.
information that's out there, and it like it wasn't my experience or his experience, or the doom and gloom and the pathology and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
yeah, I created my own information.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Do you know, we were really privileged and really lucky because when my son was assessed, um, we the almost the very first thing that the clinical psych said to us, who was lovely, lovely guy, said, and now you need to go to the autistic community to learn. And so I dutifully did exactly as I was told and did that. And he signposted me to Kieran Rose, to like that little batch of people at that time. Kieran predominantly was the person whose work I kind of connected with immediately. So I had a really, really privileged first kind of step at that point. Prior to that, as a teacher, all the training had been like ridiculously off the mark and totally
Enablers.
pathologizing and awful.
Yeah.
Like exactly. So I didn't ever see myself in any of that, but it didn't take very long of the like you said, the hyper focus and the yeah, just kind of finding myself in that world to kind of see the mirror to my experiences as well. So, and I really do recognize that I'm
Yeah,
lucky to
Kieran
that.
was my introduction to that as
Oh,
well.
there you go.
I feel like he's assimilated us. Oh, bless him. But yeah, so yeah, late realized autistic parents. There are a lot of
Yes,
us.
they
But
sure
yeah,
are.
so what on earth made you want to research autistic joy? Like, where did that come from?
It's a
Because
really good question.
for
I can't really
me,
remember.
yeah, we read the research and everybody wants to do all the serious stuff like I did. I've done like addiction and substance misuse and
Yeah,
social care and, but
yeah.
autistic joy for me was like, you
Yeah,
know,
no, I know what you mean, and I think I had done with different kind of focus, different topics up until that point with the other areas. So I'd looked at I'd done an assignment on social skills training. I'd done another one on barriers to school attendance and education, and I'd kind of felt like I needed something different. I needed something hopeful. And I guess I had a really lovely group of people who were doing the MA, and we talked so much between us about ideas, and I think it just was a conversation that we had one day where I was just like, I see. I'm really lucky that I see on a day-to-day basis with both my kids, but also the young people at Grove, I see joy, but I don't experience it. And it's something that for me, like I relate to so many um other autistic people's stories about themselves, but autistic joy is not one that I connect with at all. It feels really distant from where I'm at in my life. And so in very kind of typical fashion, when I don't understand something, what I do is I try and study it instead, and I kind of try and like understand it from that perspective instead. So it wasn't. It was, I guess, a little series of events that kind of led to me thinking, actually, could this work as a as a project? And I'm glad I did it because there's nothing else. There is not a single piece of peer reviewed. I mean, obviously mine's not peer reviewed, but there isn't a single piece of peer reviewed research on autistic children and young people's experiences of joy worldwide, which
wow.
is rubbish.
That must have been really interesting to review that literature. Did you feel a bit like a magician pulling it all together, making it
Exactly.
relevant?
Yeah, I know it was really interesting, and Elliot Wassell has done a really brilliant piece of work on adult autistic people's experiences of joy subsequent, but that came out after I did my lit review, so I was like, oh, I'm not rewriting it. I can't go back to it now. So I just sort of like ignored that it existed, but it's worth mentioning now
La
that
la
that
la, I'm
brilliant
not
piece of
looking, I'm
work's
not
out there.
looking.
Exactly right. Exactly right. So I had to go. What I did in the end was I went really wide at looking at whether joy had been researched anywhere to start with, and how it was conceptualized. That then led on to because one of the ways that it was talked about in a particular piece of work was how it was seen to be fundamentally a part of human flourishing and part of a human good life, which then we've just been talking about Robert Chapman's work. That led me then straight to Robert's work on a good, like, what does a good life look like? So we looked at that. And then my justification for the fact that there was no academic literature, I said, well, in that case, I'm going to do lit review on what's out there in community instead. So I did half of it on like academic work more broadly, and then half of it on blogs and podcasts and that sort of thing.
So what is autistic joy? How do you define
Yes.
autistic
Yeah.
joy?
Yeah. Well, I
How do you
I
define
can't. Yeah.
joy? So we know that it's part of a life
Yes.
that is flourishing, but what
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
is it? I mean,
Exactly.
for I think as well that's fascinating for a community that has at least a 50% prevalence rate of alexithymia as well. I do find that quite amusing. That amuses my little PDA
Yes.
soul.
Yeah.
So
Totally. Totally.
did you look
And
in your research about the definition of joy or different people's
yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
conceptualizations? What came from that? Because I love the way that children have this kind of, especially autistic children, of just capturing things without any of the fluff or the masking or the, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So what
Yeah.
were their
Exactly.
kind of conceptualizations of joy?
The kids ones or the or
Yeah, the
or the kind of ahead
kids.
of time. Right. Let me bring up, because so one of the things that I was really keen to do with this was for it to be as kind of faithful to their way of describing things as I could possibly get it. So I ended up choosing a particular methodology called descriptive phenomenology, where essentially what you're supposed to do, and I'm going to just take a moment to acknowledge the fact that I'm a properly like novice researcher. I am not an academic. Like that, I'm sure that a proper researcher could have done a far better job on all of this than
Is
than I
that
have.
what you
So
think?
yeah,
Honestly, my foray into research
definitely.
just kind of felt like, oh, it's not all that complicated. It's just a lot of big words.
I think I'm perpetually kind of self-deprecating, and I feel like I deserve to be with this. I think there are definitely
Yeah.
things that could have been and should have been done better, but I'm happy to kind of just say, look, it is what it is. I did, and I'm proud of what
But you're
I've
the
put
only
together,
person
but it
doing
is,
it. You're the only person
yeah,
doing it. So
yeah.
technically, that makes you the world leading expert.
I love that. I love that. But with descriptive phenomenology, basically what you're supposed to do is you still do analysis. You don't just like directly describe, but what you're doing is kind of pulling together an analysis of themes, but you're not supposed to apply any kind of inference or theory. So you can't bring in anything like masking, for example, because it would be considered theory. You can't talk about anything kind of philosophical. You've just got to go with the actual words that these young people shared and the experiences that these young people shared, and then really faithfully represent that. Because what I didn't want to do was for it to be like my take on their experience. I really felt like that was like overreaching,
The thing is, you already, I hate this idea that research is some kind of like lauded existence that is beyond human error or human influence.
Yeah,
And
exactly,
the way in
exactly,
which you have designed a study and decided to write about it and picture it there, like you have so much influence over it already as well.
exactly. Absolutely. So much bias that I bring to that without, things that I really tried to consciously sort of think about. But there'll be things that I bring that have affected the way that I've done things without any
Yeah.
intention whatsoever. So I kind of, I guess, wanted to be careful not to um
So you
not to
wanted
kind
to
of
control
epistemically
that.
overreach, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you wanted to
yeah,
control that where you could, and you could like try and just
as much as I could.
offset
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
yeah,
I love
that's
that.
it. So we came up in the end with 4 themes I'm just looking to the side because I've got them all here, because what I don't want to, I'm not very good at kind of doing these things from memory. So the 4 themes overall, and then if you want to, we can talk through each of them if they
Yeah,
sound
yeah.
interesting to do that. So the first one was, the theme was uniqueness. And then within there was a sub theme of uniqueness for autistic people, and then for each individual young person. And then the second theme was embodiment. So we had a sub theme of the felt experience of joy, and then the physical expression of joy. That was almost the most interesting
I was
theme
just say that
for
sounds
me.
juicy.
Really, really interesting. And I think links into what you were saying earlier with the way that it was described, was really lovely. And although I didn't write, I chose to not take into account non-verbal kind of physical communication, because it would have been interpretive in this. I don't think there's any harm in sharing that a lot of the young people really showed it to me as well. Like, they danced around and they did cartwheels and they, like, you know, happy flaps, and it was just beautiful because they wanted me to see it. So that was really lovely, but it's not written up in that way. So the next theme was diverse sources. So we had then a sub theme of interests, connection and creativity, and then a separate one for sensory. And then finally, a big theme on environments and in which joy was and in which joy wasn't. So some really important things, I think, within that theme that we can learn from the young people. Obviously, with it being such a tiny study, it was only 8 young people. We can't make any like universal like assumptions from any of this. It's their story, it's their experience. But I still
But
think we can
that's got a
reflect
value in
upon it.
itself. Yeah, that's got such a value in itself, hasn't it? And it's so
Yeah.
lovely that you managed to do this as well, because I think, so, obviously I'm a trustee for APUK, UK, and one of the things that we're very aware of as trustees is that we are observed and we're requested, like, on a daily basis in terms of research. People expect so much labour from us, and
Yeah.
actually it is quite depressing. Like some of the research, like honestly, we could just employ somebody to go through research requests just to make sure that they're safe for us to share half of the
Yeah.
time. And we're still really mindful, and the way that people just mine us for data continuously as well. So to
Yeah.
actually kind of be able to do it in a way that's, about something positive and joyful,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's such a
Yeah.
nice spin to put on it as well.
And
And it
it did
makes
feel
you,
that way. It felt really nice, and it
yeah.
felt really joyful to be with them. And we had, like, one of them in particular, I remember his parent then emailed me afterwards saying that that was the first time that he had sat and spoken at length with another autistic person. And that for her, she then reflected upon that, needing to enable more opportunities for him to do that in life. And I was like, that is a lovely, like, little side bonus that
Mhm.
happened just by having that experience. So yeah, that was really nice.
And
They
that's
were
the value,
amazing,
isn't it?
amazing young
Like,
people.
please don't like diminish you, like your importance, because I think every single thing that we do and we put out there and every piece of effort we put in to other autistic people, it has such a ripple effect that you can't ever know. So you've kind of like the work that Kieran's done has like rippled through me and you and other people, and the work that I've done is like, and actually thinking about it gives me like major imposter syndrome. But it is, it's so important, and it's so important to also in a way really just to use that kind of platform and that opportunity to connect with other autistic young people as well, because I don't know about you, but I often forget that I live in a very carefully curated bubble where
Yes.
I do have access to neurokin, and my life is set up by me. I will take credit for that, in a very accessible way for me, and in a way that where, a lot of the difficulties, not all of them, because by the very name, I am a disabled person, but, I've had the privilege to be able to do that. And I think we forget a lot of the time that parents, what if we hadn't have found Kieran? What if you hadn't have come across the psych that said you need to go and now find the autistic
Yeah.
community? Would
Yeah.
you have ever got there? Would have you fallen down an ABA rabbit hole? Would you have
Yeah.
been
Exactly.
grieving the diagnosis that your child had, or all of these things? So to be able to take
Yeah.
all of that and then kind of feels a little bit like a love letter to autistic children.
Yeah. That's a lovely way of putting it. Yeah. I think I want to do justice to the young people who contributed to this. I just have like you just talked about, I have major kind of imposter feelings about my academic worth, I would say. Like, but I really want to
I think
put
they
out
all
there what,
do.
yeah, which is what, like, oh, but I really want to share like what I learned from them, because I think it is so valuable. So yeah, so like I'm grateful for you giving some space to be able to, like do that
That's
this
well,
evening.
you're welcome. Amy's just said that away from the research, Jess has a real connection for our autistic kids, which shines through. Am I making you feel really awkward and want to itch your teeth out now?
Oh, Amy. Yeah, Amy's one of our, yeah, lovely. Oh,
Mm.
that's really
And
lovely.
Louise is saying the work is so valuable when autistic children are often told who they are by many systems they find themselves in. And
Yes,
my beliefs on systems and
yes, yes, yes.
systemic trauma. But yeah.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah, well done for
Exactly.
doing that,
Oh,
and
thank you.
well done for doing something a bit different. I'm kind of good. I didn't think about it, but to be honest, I do love something to get enraged about. Otherwise, I can't hyper focus. You see.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, there was plenty in this. I mean, I honestly went into it with a very open mind, not having any idea really what they were gonna share with me. And I tried to be really careful, although, recognizing that there's things I could have done better. Tried to be really careful not to lead them with like questioning
mm,
into things that might be difficult. They went there anyway, and they shared with me like when they don't feel safe, and how that impacts on their ability to experience and also to express joy. And I really came away from it feeling like, we all need to be, I mean, we're very conscious of it anyway, but like globally, we all need to be aware how much power we hold over children and young people's ability to experience joy, because it can so easily be squashed by the wrong approach. And they like the kind of the main thing that they shared with me, kind of, and this is sort of linking, I guess we've gone
mm,
jumped to that last theme with environment, is that they said, so overall, they situated their experiences of joy as intimately tied into their environment, with safety, comfort, and acceptance as necessary for both experiencing and expressing joy. And although the sensory environment was touched upon, far greater depth came from the young people's description of the people and the relationships in that environment, whereby safety, comfort, and acceptance were critical. Um, and
yeah,
they all told me about places and people where their joy was enabled and places where it was very much not. And that was
yeah.
sad
Sad.
and hard to hear. But
And it raises so many questions, doesn't it? I mean, my little brain is just jumping straight to interoception and alexithymia, and I'm thinking, well, actually, it's the nature versus nurture question, and a lot of things that are probably really hard to think about because, I mean, what was the age range of the children that you worked with?
mm. So we had it was very wide in the way that it was designed. So I'd put it out saying age 5 to 18. And I did have 5-year-old and I did have a 7. So it went from 5 to 17. In the end, I had the most lovely hour with the 5-year-old and a 7-year-old who had joined the session as siblings, and and I think this is where like the limitations of me as a novice kind of researcher, like I'd really tried to anticipate, and I'd offered different ways of them kind of accessing the session and but it wasn't enough and it didn't work for them. So we ended up just playing. We just played for an hour and it was lovely. So I
But
couldn't
that in
incorporate any data,
itself,
but we had a
yeah.
lovely time.
But it's still valuable. It's still valuable. And I think the thing is, right, when we do a master's degree, especially a research-based one, you're supposed to be learning to do the research. You're not a professional researcher,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. There's definitely like, if I were to do it again, there's definitely things that I would have wanted to have
And
done
then if
better.
you did it again, you'd have
You know,
wanted to do that better and that
yeah,
better and that better. But the
that's it.
thing is, you did it,
Exactly.
and that's amazing.
Yeah,
So Elizabeth is
and I
asking,
think
is
yeah,
there any way we can read the research, or have you not been that brave yet?
I have not been that brave. I mean, there's I guess there's a few reasons why I haven't just stuck it on the website at the moment. Firstly, because of feelings of imposter feelings. Secondly, because it's very much written for an assessment criteria, and so it feels like it's kind of forced into a structure that doesn't actually feel necessarily all that useful. So I have kind of considered whether I ought to condense it down. It's also 12,000 words long. I have considered whether I ought to condense it down, but that's just like a spoons thing. I have honestly just not had the kind of energy and space to
Same.
do that
I can
at
really
this point.
identify with that because I did mine on autistic parents' experiences of social care, which ended up being a really, really in-depth analysis of two particular mothers' experience of social care, child protection. Um, very different children, very different circumstances, but the stories were exactly the same. And I did present this at a few conferences, and everybody's like, "Oh, can you release the research and can you this and can you that?" But I think for me, I will probably write probably like a short pamphlet book type thing about it
Yeah,
at one point,
yeah,
because for me, I didn't feel that releasing that academia did their stories the justice.
yeah,
When I was able to present it and talk about it, then I was able to do it with the feelings that it deserved. Um, but as much as you can use as much flowery language as you want, but academia is cold.
yes,
And
yeah,
I just don't feel like it would do justice to the stories.
yeah,
So maybe you and I should body double one day and get around to
yes,
doing that, because I feel like, it was such a personal thing to go through with them, and the themes were so strong.
yeah,
You know, But
yeah,
and I love presenting it and talking about the themes and picking it out and stuff like that. But to just present this slab of 12,000 words,
yeah.
it just didn't feel like it did it justice.
Yeah. No, I think that's really relatable. That it just, yeah, and I think I feel, although I want to keep coming back to what I wrote, just mainly because I don't want to make a mistake in sharing what the young people shared.
Mm.
But I feel like talking about it sits better with me than writing about it. I'm not a particularly confident writer.
Mhm.
And I do worry about letting the young people down
So
that I've
I
not,
made a presentation,
Okay.
and I did present on it at a conference as well.
Yeah,
And I felt that I was able to then do that justice. It did feel like it just sat better, especially coming from an autistic parent as well, about autistic parents. But yeah, Elizabeth is saying that all makes sense, all for making the content as accessible as possible. Thank you both for your work and answering the questions. Oh, a pamphlet would be great. Maybe we should do like a visual pamphlet
yeah,
type thing.
yeah. I think something like that would be really good. Yeah, definitely. It's
I love
just, yeah,
that.
it is just honestly for me, it's just time and energy and the
Yeah.
space to ruminate over it for a good like month afterwards, and that's
I mean,
something.
I've been ruminating to get over it for a few years now, and I'm just like, how do I present this in the most impactful way where it has the kind of gravity that it deserves? I think
Yeah,
that's the
especially with
thing,
your
isn't it?
topic. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Um, yeah, but anyway, let's go back to Autistic Joy. So I'm really keen.
yeah.
I'm kind of I really want to get into the juicy bit of like what is
Right.
joy for the young people and what does that look
Yes.
like?
Okay, so
Please tell me
let
that some of them just info dumped you solid for an hour.
oh, they did. Yes. Oh, it was
Oh,
brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. On so many different things as well. Like I got shown the most amazing collections of like crystals and sketchbooks and I got sent away from one session with a whole like music playlist to go and listen to.
love that.
It like what was just really, really lovely is actually how joyful it was myself. And then I say to myself, like, Jess, you're describing this as being a joyful experience, and you said earlier you don't experience joy. Maybe I do. There's a disconnect for me that I
I
haven't
think
worked out yet.
I think so. I know what you're saying. So I think I had this when somebody would say that I was anxious. I didn't
Mm,
connect with the neurotypical experience of anxiety because I'm not neurotypical, but I do very much connect with the autistic experience of anxiety. And I think that's the difference. So you
yeah,
probably do feel autistic joy, you just don't
yeah,
connect with the neurotypical description of it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. No, I think you're right. I think it's and I think that there's having kind of sat with it myself a fair amount, I think that there's probably quite a lot of me as I've kind of grown being quite an exuberant child who's then become quite a shut down adult because of the critique of being over the
And
top with
actually,
autism.
there's a
Like,
lot of kind of like safety and unmasking in that as well, isn't there? You
mm,
know, and is it safe to experience joy?
yeah, because if it gets taken away from you, then it's yeah,
But
yeah,
also, is the way that you
mm,
experience joy safe? If you're experiencing joy, are you hyper vigilant to your environment?
yeah,
And that feeds back into that environmental. Once the environment is, you know, the environment is safe. Me
yeah,
and David are doing an awful lot of work with Kelly Mailer around the ecosystemic model of distress at the minute, which is
yeah.
watch this space because it's very
Brilliant.
relevant. But yeah,
Yes, yes.
yeah. So anyway, little tell me about the
Let's just
fun
go.
stuff, the
Right.
little people
So
stuff.
one of the things that was really wonderful, so we're on like theme one uniqueness here, is
Yeah.
that there were absolutely no pathologizing views of their own experience in any description from any child across the board. Not a single thing, which I thought was absolutely amazing. They did not self-pathologize in any way. So they described a really deep connection between their being autistic and their experience of joy. So some of the descriptions that they used were unrestricted. Um, but they did share that it was had been subject to judgment and criticism. So one quote was, "It's different between us. They don't understand my joy. I don't really understand theirs." Um,
Which
but
is
then
what we
they
just said.
yeah, exactly. There was a good number of them who were really keen to describe that they felt that their experience was also really individual to them, though they didn't want it to become another stereotype about autistic people. So they talked about a need for nuance, basically. Um, and wanted to resist a sort of singular portrayal of joy. So another quote. So one of them said, like how not all neurotypical people are the same. There's probably at least as much variety in terms of how we act. There's just like a kind of certain leaning towards things, I guess. Um, so they with that kind of uniqueness, then there was a very strong theme of kind of saying, I believe that this is an experience I have because I'm autistic, but
Mm.
I don't want to become representative of everybody. I want this to be seen as this is unique to me. I don't want to become a stereotype.
It sounds to me, without trying to apply things to it, but I suppose we're allowed now. But it
Yeah.
sounds to me like there is awareness of the pathologization and that they don't see themselves
Yeah.
in that stereotype. Um, and I get that because, you know, it's the whole when you've met one autistic person, you've met one autistic person. And,
Yeah.
you know, we come in so many different flavors. You will never meet a ready
Mm.
salted autistic, is what I say, you know, you'll never meet a plain one. Um, but yeah, but it is that's insight, isn't it? That's to me, that's kind of sad as well because it's almost like creating that awareness of the pathologization that's awaiting.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. I think that there was definitely, certainly with the older ones, especially, there was absolute awareness of stigma, and whether they were just, whether they talked about it directly as an experience that they'd had or kind of more generally, absolutely aware of it. But I guess what was nice was that there was then a distinction between how they described themselves. There wasn't any, and obviously this is not necessarily indicative of their, wider experiences and
Yeah,
wider kind of life, but in their descriptions of their experiences of joy, there was not any indication at that point of self stigma about
yeah.
those particular aspects of their experience.
So they didn't
Um,
advertise, they didn't kind of identify with the kind of pathologization yet in that
yeah, not
particular
not in
area.
relation to these aspects of their,
And
of
that kind
their
of makes
lives
sense
anyway.
as well, because actually the pathologization would be looking when you've got deficits and things.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you can't really put a deficit narrative on joy, can you? Well, you can, but
Other than,
not
I
done.
guess, this kind of indication that it's not something that's possible. I think, like, that's certainly
Yeah.
something that kind of came through with the literature review, was that, like, if we're saying that, we have this, suffering ascribed to autism, and that it's to be autistic is to embody tragedy, and it's the opposite of a good life. That actually what we're saying is that this is autistic people are, really only able to live a life without joy. So in that sense, I guess what we're saying is that these young people are very clearly
But then we're
countering that narrative.
pathologized. I just think we're pathologized so much. When I think back to like ABA and stimming and things like that, for literally embodying joy, it sounds like a case of demi-reciprocity. You remember, is it Remy Yergo? He was like, you can
Remy
be,
Ergo's, yes.
yeah, yeah. So it goes in that camp for me of demi-reciprocity, where you too autistic. So you're too autistic to experience joy, or not autistic, do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah,
But
100%.
yeah,
Absolutely.
oh,
Absolutely. So in terms of the embodiment, which I think will be an
mm.
area that you're interested in, so that they had the sub
It
theme of
just
the
makes me
felt.
feel fuzzy. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie, I just want
yeah,
to feel
yeah, yeah.
fuzzy.
Yeah. So the felt experience, and I think this is where a lot of the disconnect comes from, with me especially, is because the way that the description of the internal experience that I guess was familiar of did not match with what I was experiencing. So it was then really nice to hear, like, the ways that the young people described. So it was described with high intensity, high energy, and also at times being overwhelming. So one of the young people shared, for me personally, my experiences with joy have been very physical, as in my body. Um, and I then recall that they had the zoomies around the room and showed me that. And another young person used the word burst. Another warm light inside of me. We had fluttery like a butterfly. And that was accompanied by some beautiful sort of stimming and spinning and flapping, and it was lovely because she wanted to show me what she meant. And then another young person said, "Well, it's just like stimmy happiness," and I was like, that's just a great phrase. But in terms of kind of using, like, emotion words, it only cropped up, maybe I think it was about two young people that used excitement and happiness and kind of merged those together. All of the other descriptions were these more kind of physical descriptions instead,
So
which
they're
I think,
describing their internal experience, but they're not attributing it
not,
to emotion words,
not
which makes
using those
perfect
words.
sense. It makes perfect sense because all emotion is a generalized interpretation of internal happenings. So for
Exactly.
monotropic people to kind of not necessarily vibe with those words is not beyond the realms of logic, really.
Especially when you may have had people who have, like, emotion coached you and said, I can see that you're this at the moment, you must be feeling upset or whatever, and it's like, that is my outside version is not connecting with the way you're describing. So you get this disconnect, don't you, between the words that are attributed to the
And I
feeling.
think that's what
And
you were explaining when you were like, hang on a minute, I don't connect with the other
yeah,
people's experience of joy. I don't
yeah,
connect with other people's experience of anxiety until like I actually really kind of embodied it. And I was like, "Oh,"
yes,
I've
yes,
had to
yes.
embody it for myself. I think there's a knowing and a knowing, isn't there?
There, oh, absolutely. And I think I'm really only at the point where I'm starting to kind of trust the knowing here a little
The
bit more
nervous
again and
system.
let that switch
And
back on again.
that's what I kind of thought as well when you say that you don't, when we look at this research and we look at the role of the environment and safety within that, if you're an adult that has gone through all this awful stuff, you know, maybe you just don't feel safe to embody it just yet,
Yeah,
you know?
I think that's absolutely right. I think that that's probably relatable to a lot of
But
people. A
well,
lot of
yeah,
people. Yeah, yeah,
definitely to me.
yeah,
I mean, bring
yeah.
back kitchen discos.
Oh, oh my God. Do you know, I was actually at the park this afternoon with my boys, because obviously Easter holidays, they needed to get out and run around a little bit. And I don't even know what it was. But there was a thought whilst I was standing on the grass and they were kicking the balls around. And I was like, we really need a kitchen disco. We used to do it all the time when they were younger. And so I think just with things getting harder in family life, it kind of just faded away. But we need a kitchen disco.
What you're saying makes an awful lot of sense from my own work because the amount of people that I've worked with and said to them, have kitchen discos, do silly stuff,
Yes.
wake up that introception, have the whole kind of spectrum without wanting to be kind of
No, I get it.
trite of
Yeah,
emotion, like do comedy, roll over laughing, all of
yeah,
those things, because I think that, you
yeah,
know, from an assessment point of view, actually looking at where somebody is experiencing joy from like, from my on my social care head
mm, mm,
would actually, oh my God, my body's disappeared then. But that would actually be such a valuable thing to do because it
yeah,
is so integral to human kind of belonging and self-worth and self-identity and
yeah.
so on. But yeah, it's such a
I think
lovely
so.
thing.
I think so.
But yeah.
The in terms of then the other theme was then the physical expression of the joy. So the descriptions that they used pretty much kind of mirrored the intensity and the energy of the felt experience. So several described a really strong urge to release and to express the joy physically, and some felt unable to control this. So there were words such as jumping, leaping, flapping, and then one said, a bit like a dog doing zoomies, I'd just suddenly go bonkers. And I felt quite envious of that because I feel like that's I want to let that out. um, but then we did also get some of them talked about how they felt it was just a lot of smiling and perhaps that they had um, started to squash that. So they said so some of the descriptions of self-management of physical expression started to come through at that point. Especially in relation to other people's expectations, fear of danger, and so one of the young people talked about actual danger because of where she was living at the time, and she was surrounded, unfortunately, by people who were very racist, and so she felt really very, very, very unsafe in her environment. And fear of rejection. So one of them said it wasn't really considered acceptable. So yeah, it often got squashed, which
Oh.
is sad.
And
Yeah,
that is such
exactly.
like a true experience, isn't it? Like that squashing that authentic kind of expression. I think that's something that every autistic person can relate to.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and it's
absolutely,
so sad.
absolutely. So I guess we got shared experiences of like intensity and energy, and there was variation. So that kind of theme of uniqueness continued, but obviously, as I said, just starting to get like those strategies of sort of self management. And I chose I mean, I don't know if it's the ideal phrase, but I didn't want to start talking about masking because I was like, I'm not that it felt like overreaching at that
It
point,
felt
because
like you would be going down another rabbit hole as well.
which I just wasn't within the remit of this particular study. But
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I guess for it, like we talked about earlier, it was the descriptions of the felt and the physical expression are not necessarily things that would be considered kind of normative. So, you know, it was unique to them and their autistic experience, which was really lovely. But we didn't, and I'm not sure that there is a conclusion to kind of what is joy, because it's described differently in different areas of literature. So, for example, like there is a whole lot of it that does describe it as kind of a momentary emotion, usually related to something that you kind of perceive of value. So it's a kind of affective experience at a particular period of time. So it's kind of like a sort of, but that's kind of like the burst, I guess, that the young people were talking about. But then other people describe joy in a much more kind of steady way, like it's a sort of joyful experiences is kind of broader, and it's less of this kind of peak and trough.
Maybe we just don't have enough different words for different
Yeah,
experiences of joy, a bit
I
like
think
we
you're
only
right.
have one word for love.
Yes. Yeah, no, I think you're absolutely right.
I wonder like how people are watching, how would they describe
Yeah.
joy? Like that'd be really interesting to see if anybody wants to have a go at that. Like what does joy feel like? I mean, because for me, I've been listening to you talk about stuff and I'm like, I'm sat here beaming. This is my smiling face, by the way, it's just my face. I have that very stern face. You know, so I'm quite joyous and warm and fuzzy, like sat
Mm.
listening, but
Yeah,
equally I love a kitchen disco. I love belting out a power ballad in the car and you know, so
now you're
actually
speaking my
do
language.
I do embody joy. Like it's,
Yeah,
you know, you say
yeah.
road trip, I say you lucky sod, you get to listen to me and a personal concert for 3 hours straight.
Yes, yes. Oh, go on then. Tell me one of your favourite power ballads to sing.
Oh, so do you know what I have? Like, I was always like one of these autistic people. Like, you know, my friends got these massive skills. So, like, Kieran is ace at the masking stuff, right? And David is like brilliant at the philosophy and the hyperlexia and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, I do a bit of everything, you know? Do a bit of everything. Some people I'm like EHCP person, some it's like social care, other people it's monotropism and blah blah blah. And I was like, what
Yeah,
is my skill? Turns out it's remembering 80 song lyrics.
brilliant.
So I did the reason being, so I'm 40 years old, but my parents, well, my mum was a landlady
Okay.
of a pub.
Yeah. So
So
you've got
my
all the songs.
entire childhood is just, yeah, yeah. So my autistic skill is brilliant in the pub quiz.
Fantastic.
But yeah, literally, my partner will sit there and he'd be like like trying to trick me, like name this, name it, and it's boom, boom, boom every single
Love
time.
it. I love it.
I mean, I much prefer it to be something that could be actually useful and groundbreaking, but no, alas, it's 80 song lyrics.
Oh,
Honestly, anything, the cheesier the better. I love it. I love music. I think music as well, like I think as well, for, as somebody that really struggles to connect the dots with words because words seem a very two-dimensional way of trying to fit a four-dimensional experience. And I'm such a gestalt processor that I think music has such a poetic way of kind of like itching those feelings, don't they?
yes. Yes, definitely. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I definitely I don't feel like I've got the kind of I've not got the eloquent vocabulary enough to be able to find the right words.
Mm.
I went through a phase of like when I was feeling something that I couldn't quite work out, I'd find a poem and I would send like my friend or whatever, like this is the poem, this is what's going on. And they'd be like, yes,
Bingo,
no
or
idea.
song
But
lyrics.
for me,
That's
like that's like
me.
that worked.
Yeah, yeah, or
Yeah,
song lyrics, and they
yes,
turn into like
yes.
little gestalts to kind
Yeah,
of like explain certain things, and
yeah,
almost to the point where me and my work wife, Mary Cartledge, we've all almost developed our own language around little gestalts for different
yeah,
scenarios. But
yes,
yeah, how that
yes,
happens. But yeah,
yes.
and when I think about joy, like joy can happen in so like there is a pure joy as well of finding that thing that you feel understood through as well.
Yeah.
Like there are so many different experiences of joy. And bringing it back to the kind of topic, I'm like, right, okay, so what is this telling me as a practitioner? What is this telling me as a parent? Like, so based on your research, like how do we help foster joy in young people? And what is the
Yeah.
importance to well-being, really? And
Yeah.
what is
Yeah.
well-being?
Yeah, exactly. All really big, really important questions. And I think that, you know, my answer to that is always wherever possible, it needs to be, we need to find that out from the actual young person that
Mm,
we're supporting because it'll be unique to them, you know. So if that is something that you can sort of ascertain directly from them in some capacity,
mm,
that's what I would, yeah, that's what I would want to do because I'm very, I guess I'm very keen not to generalize. But what was, what I guess, yeah, like I said earlier, that I went into it really not knowing what they would share, but I
mm.
guess that I had an inkling that sensory stuff would be talked about more
I
than it
did
ended
think
up being.
that. Yeah, I
Yeah,
thought
it didn't
that.
end up being quite big. I mean, and like there's could be so many different reasons for that. It could be the way that I designed the questions, or just that they'd been talking about their interests, so that's
You
where
know what
their
it seems
their
to
pattern was
me?
going, and
Hmm.
it just didn't really feature massively.
I'm thinking about it, and actually, from what you've said, it almost feels like their experience of joy produced a sensory experience rather than the sensory experience producing
Yes,
the
yes,
joy.
yes, yes. Yeah,
And
I think
that's
that's a
really
lovely way of looking at
interesting,
it.
isn't it? Um,
Yeah,
and actually, when people do speak about joy, actually, I think very often it's through stimming and that exploring the stimming, and that is so valuable. But it's not ever something really that I've massively connected with. I'm like,
mm,
obviously, I
mm,
know that I stim and stuff like that, but everybody's like,
yeah,
oh yeah, you need to experience sensory joy and blah blah blah. And I'm like, but I guess there are little nuggets of joy, but that wholehearted, like, oh, this is, never really been for me. And I've
yeah,
never
yeah,
really, but actually, when I think about belting out a tune, like,
yeah,
driving down the M1, or I think about, all the different things and listening to music as sensory joy,
yeah.
or like matching your mood and
Yes,
everything just
yes,
feeling aligned. And so I think what the conclusion would actually be is what the literature review said, which is there are infinite ways to experience
yeah,
joy,
exactly. Yeah,
and no
exactly.
real one definition. And I think that's probably emotions as general. There are infinite ways to experience them and no
Yeah,
real definition. But I think one thing that we can take away from it is to foster individuality,
yes,
to ensure that environments are safe.
yeah,
Um, that was a pretty strong theme.
massive. Yeah,
Yeah. And
yeah, definitely, definitely.
and
And
it's
that
yeah,
that safety for them, for these particular young people, that safety was directly associated with the people in those
there's relational
environments. So
safety.
it was the relational safety that was really important to them. Was how much they felt they did or did not belong, that they were or were not accepted for their authentic selves, and if they were not, then it directly affected both their ability to kind of experience and access joy, but also to be able to let it out in whatever way felt, authentic to
I
them.
think as well, you touched on this earlier, and it's something that I have to remind myself of as a parent as well. How do I word this? Words are not my first language. But I think that modeling is such a really important thing to do as well, to model that experience of autistic authenticity and joy. And I think we can so often, and we were talking about like the observation and the doing at and blah blah blah, but even as parents, even as neuroaffirming parents, even as autistic parents that share neurology and reject the pathology paradigm, we can spend so much time on that kind of hamster wheel of parenting, of fighting send systems, of controlling the environment, of arguing with this person or doing that kind of, getting the education right or finding the resources, that actually we can become quite removed from our own
Yeah,
kind of experiences of joy and how important that might be in terms of co-regulation.
yeah,
And I have to remind myself as well, because you can very much go into mummy mode and be like, right, bish, bash, boom, boom, boom. You got to do this.
yeah.
And not even just for like autistic kids, but even just on the daily kind of routines of like, when do we
Hmm.
have the space as parents to manage our
Yeah,
own needs,
yeah,
but also to manage the needs of our children, and then the outside systemic pressures that we're facing, and the world is
yeah,
falling to pieces, and all of that stuff, that
yeah, yeah,
actually maybe it's a really good reminder to kind of like try and insert joy into your daily
yeah,
experience, even if
yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
just a tiny bit, because that's a big difference between children and adults, isn't it?
Yeah. And all of that is so relatable, and I really can see, certainly in our family life, how I would say maybe in the last kind of 18 months to 2 years, where we've been through a big process of kind of selling, like trying to find different education routes, selling the house, moving, halfway across the country, trying to find new opportunities, that it has become, and doing the MA and setting up Grove and trying to run that. And I think sometimes my own children don't get the best of me because
Mm.
I give too much elsewhere. So like I adore spending time with the young people we have at Grove, and I try and give them myself, and I try and be so present and in those moments that I come away from it completely and utterly exhausted, and then I'm not very good mum for a little while. And so I think those reminders are so important, and something I need to definitely,
And the thing is, it's also
remember.
that, let's not use that as an opportunity to feel guilty,
Yeah,
because it's so
yeah,
easy, isn't it? And I
it
always try and
is.
remember, what's that saying? You can do anything, but you can't do everything.
Yeah,
You
100%.
know,
And I'm so
I'm like,
rubbish at
why
that, Tanya.
can't I do everything? Why did you give me the ADHD if I can't do everything? Cruel, cruel world.
Exactly right, exactly right. I'm going to put it on. I'm going to literally put it on my list that we're going to have a kitchen disco. We've actually, since we've been in this house, we moved here a year ago, we have not had a kitchen disco. And like, I need to find, we bought in our last house, we bought like lights and all sorts, because especially my older one, he absolutely loves all that kind of thing.
Mm.
And I reckon they're in a box somewhere, having not even been unpacked 12 months later. So probably end
Oh,
up buying some more because I
what
haven't got a clue
else?
where they
What
are.
else? I mean, how, I don't know. If anybody's watching and have got any ideas into inserting little pockets of joy,
Yeah,
because
great
all the
question.
work around like monotropism that me and Helen have done together, Helen from Autistic Realms, I've always been talking about finding pockets of flow. And I can't imagine that pockets of flow and pockets of joy are much different. Because I
Yes,
think what I'm hearing you
yes.
describing through like what the young people are saying is that the joy brings them into a flow state of excitement,
Yeah,
bubbly,
yeah,
and happiness. And flow state is
yeah.
probably not always hyperfocus.
No, no, exactly. It's, yeah, that sort of momentary, yeah, sort of being completely at one and present in that moment in time.
And
Yeah,
we
definitely.
lose
And
the
they,
ability to do that as adults. And I
yeah,
wonder how that would
yes,
differ. Like, if you asked a bunch of autistic adults to describe their experience of joy, I wonder if that would
yeah,
be lost.
yeah, yeah,
Bet that
yeah,
it would, as
definitely.
sad as that is.
Yeah. I wonder how much we avoid, kind of almost actively avoid situations that give the potential for flow, for joy, because of that constant fear of it being, of you being pulled away from it. Like I definitely will make a conscious choice not to do certain things or to allow myself certain experiences, because I of the knowledge that, well, 2 minutes later I'll be called by somebody who needs me. So so I avoid those things happening in the first place. um yeah, are there any ideas for people? I was we I one thing that was really kind of it's talking about the more sort of joyful, those sort of bit broader experiences rather than those like burst experiences. I went to a fest for the first time this year and met with loads of wonderful people, and I did a little presentation on this, and Jodie Clark was there listening, and she shared about finding beautiful big leaves on a walk, and finding moss and touching the moss, and I was like, oh, those things sound gorgeous.
So
And
maybe then, maybe your children need to be the teachers on this front. Maybe
yeah, I think you're
it's
right.
they're the experts, and maybe we
Yeah,
should be taking the lead from them. But
yeah,
definitely, so all I've got is a kitchen disco. We love good kitchen disco. We love a good rough and tumble. You know,
yeah,
what
yeah,
else?
yeah, yeah.
We love playing Mario Kart. Mario Kart.
Yes.
What else? Oh, so much stuff. Oh, me and my eldest, we love going to watch the ice hockey. Yeah,
Ah,
we love, oh, it's an ADHD person's dream.
I've never watched it.
Oh, well, we live in Nottingham, so we're really, really lucky that we have like the Motor Point Arena and we're Nottingham Panthers here. So yeah, we have
Okay.
little jerseys and off we go. And like, that kind of stereotype that, autistic people hate loud noise and blah, blah. No, 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 no. I love a good gig. I just can't do it repeatedly. Um,
Yes.
But yeah, so we love doing that and screaming like "Let's go Panthers" and getting
Yeah.
really hyped up and stuff. And actually, when we think about experiencing joy, it's like we said, there's so many different ways to do it. Maybe you
Yeah.
just don't resonate with other people's description of it, you
Yeah.
know? And I think
Yeah.
that's okay. I love that. So we need to come away with more joy,
Yeah.
basically. We
Yeah.
all need more joy. And actually, sorry, food, major source of joy for me.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt for me as well. Yes, absolutely. Cheese in general is in particular.
I always say I love my kids, but I love them the most when they're both asleep.
Oh,
So do you
but
know?
actually, watching my kids asleep, like that, oh, that's a wonderful moment when they're just like finally still and peaceful. It's like, oh, they're actually really still little, and like I forget how
Oh,
they are, like they feel so big, but actually they're really still so little. And especially with my 6-year-old, like is like the fact that I can still get my hand around his little arm and like,
yeah.
yeah, little moments, glimmers. I think those, yeah, maybe I resonate a little bit more with the concept of glimmers, like it's those tiny little moments of
Of
gorgeousness.
joy. The tiny
Yeah,
little moments of gorgeousness that you can't
gorgeous.
fend off, you can't
Yeah,
avoid.
yeah,
And that's the
exactly.
thing, isn't it? I think that we are trained to avoid an awful lot of our internal world.
Yeah, yeah,
Without going on a massive masking tirade, because I'll probably, if I say masking 3 times in a row, I'll summon Karen Rose. But, we are trained to ignore those internal sensations.
yeah,
Um, and we have to feel safe to turn them back on. Um,
yeah. And I
and
think
yeah,
that it's got to start with yourself, isn't it? Like I think that
yeah.
there's definitely a disconnect with me still about feeling safe in with myself, and acceptance of myself,
Well,
that
it's self-trusting as well, isn't it? Because we've
yeah,
been gaslit an awful lot that your experience isn't a reliable one. You're not a reliable commentator on your own experience,
yeah,
which
yeah,
is beyond bizarre to me. But
yeah,
yeah, and I think, you know what, it doesn't stop. Like even 10, 15, 20 years into being like unapologetically autistic and out, and like if somebody Googled me, it's not really difficult to find, even
yeah,
though I do try and hide as much as possible, promise. Um, you know, that kind of internalized ableism is systemic, it's not avoidable. And that compounds it because actually, you then find other reasons to not be nice to yourself about,
yeah,
having all these things and these hang-ups. And I just think it's really nice, actually, like what can we learn from children?
yeah,
What can we learn from autistic children? And
yeah,
actually, what can we learn? We can learn that we need to, prioritize relational safety.
yeah,
and our environments, we can learn that we need to embrace our individuality,
Yeah.
that we don't have to use emotion words and we know
Yes.
exactly what we mean.
Yes.
Um, so maybe what the pamphlet should be is, what can we learn from autistic children about experiencing joy and reconnecting with yourself?
Yeah. Yeah.
There are so many
Absolutely.
different ways to do that. Um, Liz Cook's just said, I've always said my son is my greatest teacher.
Oh, I'm loving as well that Bobby has said love, love, love cheese. Oh, I added an extra love
Oh
there.
yeah, I love cheese. I love cheese.
Yes. And when I first met Kieran Rose, actually, within about 5 minutes, we were talking about cheese, and he was incredibly gracious and lovely to me, and spent quite a lot of his time helping with some grow stuff. And so as a thank you, I sent him a load of cheese. But it got delivered when he wasn't there and got left in the left house.
So he had hot cheese.
Cheese delivery. I think luckily it wasn't particularly warm at that point. So it was kind of okay, I think, still.
Oh dear. But yeah, what's some of the weird things that me and Kieran have done? Oh, we did once after Alive, we got inertia. And we decided that we would try and this is where Ready Salted Autistic comes from, we would assign crisp flavors and brands to different kind of blends of neurodivergence.
I love it.
So
That's
we
brilliant.
decided, I think we decided that PDAs were Twiglets,
Love a twiglet.
but you either love
But
them
you
or you
only
hate
allowed them at
them.
Christmas.
You either love them or you hate them, and they only
Yes,
make an
that's true.
appearance as and when they're ready. Do you know what I mean? At
Yes.
Christmas time.
At Christmas
Um,
time.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we yeah, some of the things we do. So we have these really important, profound conversations about masking and identity management, and then be like, "Oh, is he a bit of a twiglet, do you think?" You know?
It's
But
brilliant.
see, there are so many different ways of describing things and experiences,
Exactly.
and crisp flavors is just one of them. And I'm sure if somebody tuned in right then, they'd probably think that's quite insulting to call people crisps, but
I love a crisp. Yeah,
everybody loves a crisp. Everybody loves a crisp.
exactly.
But yeah, anyway, we're off on a tangent.
Oh,
But yeah, autistic joy. So what are you going to do with it, Jess? What are we going to do?
oh, yeah. I do. I absolutely do need to put it out into the world in a way that feels, and maybe I'll do two versions, because I know that some people will want to read the more like academic stuff, which is
But
fine.
what do you
But
want
for
to deliver to the world? Sod what other
yeah,
people want. But
yeah,
it's
no,
your
yeah,
research, it's your
yeah,
baby.
I know. I guess for me, I think a
I'm
more
encouraging you to be a rebel,
yeah,
Jess.
I
Yeah, but
think
it's your
probably
narrative.
a less
And
academic one.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
for
your
me.
narrative. And I think that ultimately, like we've got all these rules that things, like I said earlier, things need to be presented in a certain way to be kind of this is why I'm an avid blog writer rather than a
Yeah,
researcher, because
yeah,
who's it for?
yeah, exactly, exactly.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
I just
definitely.
think that doing things in your way with your work and the way that you want it read and understood and perceived is really powerful.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Yeah. And I think one of the things I don't want to happen is I don't want it to be used by professionals to then kind of think, oh, here's another way to get an autistic child to do something that I want them to do. I will use their joy, like I don't want to fuel that.
Oh, I
Um,
know how that feels from my work on monotropism. Like,
yeah,
how do we use this to get them to do X, Y, and
do
Z?
the thing.
Or when somebody's like, how do I get a demand avoidant child to do X, Y, and Z? And I'm like, oh, you're baking
Yeah.
the beans.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So I need to give some thought. Like I know that I'm aware of the fact like once something's out in the world, you can't control what other people do. But I just feel like
Mm.
I want to give some thought to how at least I convey that aspect of please don't use this to try and manipulate children and young people into doing what you want them to do.
I
Like,
think
even
what
if
we
that's
can
just part
learn
of it.
from them, what we can learn from them as
Yeah, what we can learn.
adults and our own
Yeah,
experiences of joy and things that we
yeah,
lose as we grow,
yes,
because the
yes,
great thing about controlling the narrative and writing something that's not necessarily research is you can write whatever you want.
yeah,
And
yeah,
ultimately, I guess what you're saying is your ultimate goal with it is not to feed into the kind of academia narrative because they can use that for whatever they want, but it's almost to
yeah,
connect with people, isn't it?
yes, yes, yeah, yeah. So it's just finding the way to do that. And yeah, and working through some of my demand avoidance over actually writing it rather than maybe like, I don't know, I am more comfortable talking it. So perhaps I'll just do it as like a free recorded something or other. I don't know.
Presentation,
Like,
yeah.
yeah,
Or do
give
it in
it
like
some
a little.
thought.
I love Helen's ebooks because they're very visual,
Oh,
with like
yes.
little. Yeah, and I wish I had the patience and like the skill to do things that were pretty. I can't do. I don't
Yeah.
have that skill. I
See,
don't
I
have the
quite like
wording
doing
skill.
it, but I also get trapped in a massive like loop of lining things up and it being needing to be like
Perfectionism.
within the millimeter of it being absolutely right. And then I know that I lose so much time and so much energy if I let myself go there with making something
You need a
visual.
co-conspirator.
Yes, I do. I do. Yeah, yeah.
So
Maybe
I was
one
working
of the
with
young people will do it.
yeah, you will work. I was working with. I told you I was working with a lady called Kelly Marler, and they were saying that they're exactly the same because they do lovely slides and stuff. But she's like, honestly, I have to give it to my assistant because I'll just get so totally engrossed and overwhelmed
Yeah,
that it just like I'll be there forever, making
yeah.
like stuck in the perfectionism hole.
Yes,
Do you
yes,
not
that
get
is
to the
very
point
relatable.
though where you just get the ADHD, like I'm done, right? That's it. Whatever it's out,
Yeah,
it's out.
I do, but it takes too long to get there, and it's still like and I think that I still like I never really when Grove kind of started, I really never wanted to be a public figure. Like I love trees. Trees are like one of my massive glimmers. I literally called Grove so that I could hide behind it and didn't really ever realize I would need to be out in like the public sphere. Like it's not, I'm very uncomfortable with that. I don't necessarily come across in things like this like I'm uncomfortable because I'm quite used to these sorts of circumstances, I guess now, but I am generally very, very uncomfortable about the
It
idea that
doesn't
people
bring
know
me any
who I
joy.
am.
Yeah,
And like,
same, same.
yeah,
It makes me feel very
yeah,
strange when
yeah,
people speak to me as if they know me. It's like almost like an out of
yeah,
body experience.
yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, no, I know
yeah,
what you mean. I was like that. I never really planned to write stuff or do stuff that meant, but also that's often like kind of overridden for me with my like real desire to kind of share knowledge and
yeah,
connect.
yeah,
So, you
yeah,
know,
yeah,
yeah, but I definitely get that. It definitely kind of triggers some kind of exposure anxiety in me,
yes,
and
yes,
then the
yes.
next day it'll be anxiety about everything you've said. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
100%. Like, yeah, and I definitely that is a massive part of like my
Demand avoidance.
reticence. I think, yeah, exactly. And like a huge amount of reticence to kind of commit to putting things out there because I really worry about like the what people will think of it and not being good enough and all of that. And so
I'm
but I
sure
need
that's
but then I have to
absolutely not the case.
need to remind and the only way I can bring myself back from it is remembering why I do what I do is because I want to make a happy bubble at Grove for autistic children and young people. And if I have to make myself more uncomfortable to be able to achieve that, then that is worth doing.
I think
Um,
as well,
to have to push
like,
through.
yeah, that's why I do things on my own terms.
Yeah.
Like I could do research, I could do this, I could do that, I could do the other. But actually, if I write something, if I say something, if I deliver something, take what resonates and leave what doesn't.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
have to agree with everything that I say, but if
Mm.
it works for you and it makes you feel more connected to yourself or your community or helps in any way, then
Yeah.
take it.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and I think that we can, that for me, because I used to get major kind of imposter syndrome every time I wrote anything, do you know what I mean?
Mm,
Like, what if this person, what if it doesn't connect? You know, some people go, oh, I don't connect with the experience of monotropism and blah blah. That's fine. That's
yeah.
fine. Then it's not for you. You know,
Yeah,
and I think
exactly. Yeah.
ultimately that's one thing that I really enjoyed, is that when I'm sharing my own experiences, or, you know, from research or things like that, that's how I kind of sidestepped that, because it
Yeah.
became more about connection and
Yes.
creating, like, because, you know, we've got to think in terms of like what we know about autistic experience, really. And I think it was only in the 1990s that Diana Murray started talking about monotropism. That's not long ago.
Yeah.
Like, and that narrative hasn't changed for hundreds of, like, over 100 years. And then all of a sudden in the 90s, all these autistic people start speaking for themselves. So we're
Mm,
literally at the coalface of knowledge production,
yeah.
and we
Yeah.
get to contribute to that. And that's such a privilege, I think.
Massive. Yeah, massive privilege. And I feel, and quite, I think quite rightly so, I feel the weight of
Mm.
not wanting to get that wrong, and
But there's no way to get it wrong.
yeah.
There's no possible way that you could get that wrong.
Mm.
There isn't. In what way would you get it wrong?
I don't know. I guess I'm very hard on myself, like not just in everything, I guess, but just I don't know.
Do
I
you
mean,
think it's
maybe
that
just worry
autistic,
about
that
like,
yeah. Do you think it's that kind of autistic ingrainedness that we are wrong, we are at fault, we
yeah,
are going to
maybe,
miss the
yeah,
nuance, we are going to
yes,
misstep? Yeah.
yeah, probably. Yeah, I think there's a huge amount of backstory that comes into all of that. You know, I'm very much I would consider myself, well, I think in the like the kind of autistic advocate kind of community, there are real like deep thinkers, like, many of the people that we've talked about today. I would put yourself in that. I wouldn't consider myself that. I'm like a doer. Your thinking is amazing. I'm gonna let you go off on your amazing thinking, and that you're kind of creating the knowledge. I'm like, I need to actually do something. And I think that's where kind of Grove has become like I need to do something about the rottenness. Like, so I'm gonna try
Oh,
and make
100%.
make something.
But
Do you know what I mean?
also,
Like,
yeah, definitely. It's like me being sat in a meeting with David and Helen, and they're like, well, we brought you in because we need to make it practical. And I'm like, yay, thanks. Or like, I need you to make this understandable for everybody. I'm
yeah,
like,
those two
yay, I
together.
have a use. Do you know, they're like listening to those two have a conversation, honestly. It's so
Yes,
philosophical about
yes,
rhizomes and demirosaricity
yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
neuroqueering
Which
that
is
came from
amazing,
queer
but
theory, and like, I do read critical theory, like I get it, but
yeah,
like, yeah, how is that useful to my community? And I get that. I'm incredibly practical, but I
yeah,
think all of it has a place, because all of it is a
yeah,
story, isn't it? And actually, you know, I'm not a researcher, but I will never ever stop working with people directly, because that
yes,
gives me
yes,
such a wealth of knowledge that
yeah,
is able to then share that with people and put it
mhm,
into research and explain to people. And actually I always remember, so you and I share a tutor, Stephen. Oh, what's Stephen's surname?
Connolly.
Stephen Conley, at Sheffield Hallam, because we both did the same masters but a few years apart. And Stephen always said, if you read a bit of research and after reading the abstract and the conclusion it doesn't make sense, it's probably shit.
Yes, he said that to us too. Yeah,
Yeah,
or if you don't understand it, don't bother reading the rest of it. I
yeah,
like
yeah,
that he
yeah.
set me free
And
from that. Yeah,
actually, that is it.
yeah,
Because if it's written in language that you don't understand,
yeah,
that you're probably reading somebody else's imposter syndrome.
yeah, yeah. That's a good way of looking at it. Yeah,
You know?
definitely,
So I'm
definitely.
like, I'm like trying to champion you.
Oh, I
But
know. I
yeah,
appreciate it. I really do. I try and use all
I
of these
think
feelings to try and gear
sometimes,
up. Like, I just need to
sometimes
do the stuff.
Just do the thing.
Just do the thing. Yeah,
Just do the thing.
definitely.
I completely identify it with it though. Like the amount the amount of years I've been like nominated for like national diversity awards, I just ignore it
Do
because I can't
you?
think of anything worse
Oh,
than being the center of attention. That's not what is my motivator or my
yeah,
values, you know.
yeah, yeah,
Or but if I didn't get nominated, I feel bad. But
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
or like Bobby's just said, same, regardless of my postgrad in autism, I'm far from an academic or a researcher. Me neither. Honestly, I like sit there with these amazing people, um, and I'm like, what does that word mean? Can you translate that into Tanya? You know? But actually, I think it was Jill Holly who once said to me, because I remember having major
Oh,
imposter
I love Jill.
syndrome. Yeah, I love Jill. When I was doing the masters, I had major imposter syndrome, and I did end up kind of almost lecturing at the university whilst doing it. But anyway, because I'm me. And I was like, oh, I need to shut up. I need to do this. I need to do this. I need to do that. Blah, blah, blah. And she was like, well, what's the problem? And I was like, well, I feel like an imposter. And she was like, but you are an imposter.
Mm,
You know, you're not,
mm,
you're a person, first and foremost, with lived experience of
yeah,
being autistic who is contributing in whatever small way to the narrative around autistic people and autistic people's experiences. Like, I didn't know bloody meerkat mode was going to be such a blooming great thing that
yeah.
next thing I'm like stuck with meerkats for the rest of my life.
Yes.
And for me, it was just like, made sense, you know? Didn't think that one through, did I? But
I
we are
love your lily
imposters.
padding work as well,
Oh,
though.
Lily Paddy. Do you know, I wish I had more time to write about things
Mm,
because there's so much more, but it's just, I always think like, how do I capture like my philosophy and my way of being and working and experience, because I'm such a visual thinker, in a simplified way that is
yeah, yeah.
understandable, you know? And lily
I
padding,
think it works. Like it really works how you communicate those things.
and you can communicate those things in any way that you want to do it because it's your data.
Yeah. I need to find what feels um comfortable for me that does justice to the young people and that won't leave me spiraling for days after I've kind of put it out there thinking, oh, like,
I mean, you
and I think
maybe just accept that you're going to spiral for days,
anyway,
and then
yeah, just giving yourself,
every single time you put something out there, you spiral less.
yes, this is true. This is absolutely true. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I definitely like, found that, yeah, it has lessened. And I think, yeah, I think probably doing some kind of like, yeah, like little ebooklet or something like that will, I need to wait for the, like
For it
the
to hit
interest.
you.
And yeah, I need to wait for the little interest gremlin to grab me so that I've got the like the momentum to
Well,
do it.
funnily
And then
enough,
when I do it, then it'll work.
yeah.
It'll
So
happen.
you talk about lily padding, right? Lily padding is something that I have been trying to put into wordy words for years. Right? How do I explain? Because, you know, me and David have both worked with young people and like how do we get them to recover? How do we do that? How do we recover from burnout? How do we recover from psychosis? How do we move somebody out of crisis? How do we do this? How do we do that? And I was just and pulling that all together and explaining like how you live, how you work, what you do is a really difficult thing because you just do it instinctively, right?
Mm.
And again, it was after belting out either rock music or power ballads, steaming down the motorway. No, it wasn't. It was coming back from the through the Peak District. Random phone call to David. I've got it. I've done it. It's lily
Oh,
pads.
wow.
You know,
And
so yeah, it
it just
does.
happened.
Yeah, but it does
Love
come
that.
because I need visual representations for
Yeah.
everything. You know, if it's not got a visual representation, it's not vibing. But yeah,
Yeah.
it will come.
Yeah.
And you'll do it and maybe you'll expand on it and maybe it could be a project with young people so it's not about you.
Yes. Yeah, 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 definitely. Yeah, it may be that, yeah, I did kind of wonder earlier whether there would be. I tell you what I'm going to do. Whenever I'm not sure about something, I take it to our team of young leaders. So we've got this really like particularly amazing group of young people who work with us kind of in the background in Grove, and kind of we take policies and ideas and concepts to them and they go, that's good, that's rubbish. They just tell it how it is. And so perhaps I'll take this to them and say, what would be best, and see what they think.
I love that. Oh, Bobby's just said, yes, I'm visual too, and it's why phone calls are deeply discombobulating. Yeah, bless you. Anyway, on that note, eventually, Jess, maybe in
Yeah.
about 6 months' time, we might be like, remember that time when Jess from Grove came on? And we
She's
all tried,
finally done the
she's done the thing, let's share it. But
thing.
yeah, take it to the
Oh,
kids and see what they do. But
yeah,
definitely do take credit where it's due. It's a fantastic piece of work and something that really, even if you say it was small, you can take so much away from that. And it's really valuable. And thank you for doing it. And thank you for joining me.
I really appreciate you having me on. It's been lovely talking to you. So thank you very much. And anybody else who's listened to us gabbling on,
I
appreciate you
know.
being here.
Yeah. So thank you everybody for watching. And I think next month we have Tigger Pritchard actually talking about
My
um
dog.
yeah, talking about being an autistic dad and his experience of kind of boyhood and all that stuff that comes with parenting from a assigned male perspective. Because I think, there are a lot of us assigned female at birth people, aren't they, that find community and stuff. So it's really valuable to get that other perspective and
Absolutely.
identity as well. So it's going to be really interesting. But yeah, I love to go. But yeah, bye everyone, and we'll see you next month. Right.
Bye. Thank you.
How do I stop streaming now? Oh, here we go. Bye.